we just got done playing our first game of Istanbul. I got this game sent to me by the cool folks at Pegasus Spiel. This is a game that is coming out in America from AEG very shortly, I believe. So we just got done. This is a game by Rudiger Dorn. It is theoretically about being a merchant and trying to use your assistants and yourself to travel the markets of Istanbul to eventually earn money and rubies and stuff like that. So just a quick glance at the game board. All these are set, these tiles are the different area locations. It's kind of worker placement, but not really. It's more like you move your merchant to a location, and then as long as you have an assistant, which is another disc underneath, you leave that assistant there, and then you can take the action on that location. And as you move around, you eventually run out of assistants, and then you either have to use maybe a card, some bonus cards that allow you to take an assistant back, or come back and pick up an assistant, or you go back to the fountain, and as you can see the fountain with a little action, you grab all your assistants, they come back and meet you at the fountain, and then you can go back out again, and whatever. We played the easy setup. This is like the easy setup, so everything's kind of chained well together, but you can play the game to make it more tough by having certain locations like further away that you need, or it can be completely random if you want. So anyway, I'll do a full review of this very shortly, but I just wanted to get the kind of in-play feeling from my gaming group. We won't talk to Craig first because he won, so we'll go to my buddy Jim. Jim, you mentioned you really liked the game.
I did really enjoy it. I look forward to playing it again when we kind of randomly.
Without Craig?
Yeah, well, maybe without Craig. With all the locations randomly put into place, I think that'd make it pretty interesting.
Yeah. Andy, you were using the tea house gambling location and the opium den, if you will.
A bad strategy based on a misunderstanding of the rules, so got off to a slow start because of that.
Well, see, it's the first game, so yeah. it's the training game unless you win.
And I really liked it. I thought that the balance of a relatively minimal amount of random stuff and a little bit of players getting in each other's way, but not so much, was a nice balance. So
I think with the fifth player, you'd really start getting more people. Because one of the things about the game is that if you actually move your merchant with an assistant, not the fountain because you're safe there, but if I were to move over here and use this location with another merchant, you actually have to pay the other merchant money before you can actually use that location. So, like I said, I'm going to do a review and I'll go more in depth with my feelings about the game at that point. But here's the big winner, Craig. He got his 5 rubies for anybody else, and he held out with the tiebreaker against Jim. What was the tiebreaker you won on? Money?
Rubles.
Lira.
Whatever.
Yes.
Whatever they use in Italy.
All right, so Craigers.
Yeah, I enjoyed the game too. It's nice because there's a lot of different ways. There's basically 5 different ways to get rubies, and a couple of them you can use multiple times, so you don't find yourself shoehorned into a single strategy. And there is very little randomness. Even if other people get in your way, you can always just pay them a couple lira and use the same space. I wonder if you played it multiple times, if a strategy would start to emerge where it might be one of those, oh, you always do this first, then that. But on the first play, it was very enjoyable.
Do you think that would change if, once you get to the situation where random? As far as locations?
Yeah, because a lot of what you're doing is based on economy of action. Since you can only move up to 2 spaces on each turn, and since you have the limited assistance, you have to plan out basically where you're going to go ahead of time so that you're not stuck in a situation where you're out of actions or something's out of reach. So I think that would definitely help.
Okay, my only concern, I really like the game, my only concern really with the game was I do think that maybe the solvency, you'll get to that point where you solve the game and it's just okay, I just have to get there, and then it's just a matter of figuring out which way you have to go.
That's the only concern I have too. But it's not a big concern since I won. So.
Oh, okay. Very good. So
with the random tile locations, that would help lower the solvency problem.
Right, because something that might be an optimal strategy suddenly turns out not to be if it's a long way.
If you have to go long ways to.
All right, excellent. All right, so there you go. There you have it. That was Istanbul from Pegasus Spiel, but then soon to be AEG as well. So, all right, thanks for watching, and like I said, look for a big full review from me very shortly.